is up, and welcome to my first, I'm not going to say a tutorial because I don't know what I'm doing. I guess new-torial, we'll call it. Just figured, you got a lot of people on here that really know what they're doing, and it could be a little intimidating. So I figured I would put my stuff up and show, you know, people how I do it. And I've only painted 4 minis to completion so far, so figured I would show you guys, so we have different levels of skill here that are being displayed. Welcome. If you guys like this enough, I will definitely post more. Definitely mostly just doing this for fun, kind of getting into videography and stuff. I got this Insta360 RS mostly for snowboarding, but I figured, hey, I already have it, might as well set it up. It's probably not going to be the greatest quality, I can tell you right now. My paint station that I've set up, it was free. Stuff I had laying around the house, like a folding table and stuff, and a little light that I had from something else. So in time it should get better, but bear with me in this video and let me know what you think. All right.
So I'm using simple Army Painter paints. I'm not mixing any colors because I like to color match. I say that like I painted. This is like my 4th model I've ever painted. But I like the idea of being able to color match and not have to mix every time I need more paint. This one here is Greenskin. I started with a black base. So that way when I miss a spot or something, it just looks like it's worn paint. I'm pretty new to this, so if you guys see something that I can improve, I would be more than happy to hear your input. I've watched a lot of videos, but when you start painting, it's easy to forget that stuff. I don't even know how good this is going to look. This is kind of a trial on videoing my paint stuff. I have a Insta360 RS, and I figured I'd put it to use while painting. Gonna assume that I'm gonna need to get some better lighting if I do want to keep doing this, but just having fun. Actually, this is like my 5th model. The first model I completely wrecked beyond repair. So this was put my phone so I can see, make sure it's getting in the screen here. So this is one of the first ones I actually did. I didn't like the green as much, so I'm going salamanders. I think the green is too bright, and I also didn't like the gold. So I decided to switch it, looking at some different photos, decided to go to silver everything. And not zoom there, it looks like it's not zooming. Yeah, so I decided to do silver accents instead of gold, and I think I like this a lot better. I will be painting this, and once I'm done with the green, we'll check back in and see how it looks. Alrighty, got the green. I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, I did miss a spot actually right there. Hit that real quick. Okay, wrong brush. You always find stuff after the fact that you missed. Dang, I forgot this whole gauntlet. I do have a wooden dowel that I use for the other two guys, but this guy fell off, and I'm waiting on a shipment from Amazon of tools like scalpels and stuff. I need to scrape some of that glue off so that it'll actually adhere. I tried last night and it did not stick, so don't judge me for touching my model that I'm painting. Okay, I think that was the last spot. Yeah. Cool. If you notice from this guy, I know it's dark. We'll definitely get new lights if I keep doing this, but the guy in this hand is a little more green. I just used, which one was it? Jungle green, and I kind of did like a dry brush over everything just to give it a little bit more depth. I think this guy is pretty good looking too, but this guy just kind of has a little bit more pop. I'm sure it's hard to see. We'll see how this looks, but nonetheless, it's kind of the last step I do. So now I'm gonna touch up the black. Yeah, I started getting into Warhammer at the beginning of lockdown back in 2019. I guess when 9th edition first came out. Got into it via Space Hulk, the video game, and started painting a couple models and stuff, but then realized I was not going to be able to play because of the lockdown, so I kind of just fell out of it. I was also working graveyard shift at the time, so I had no life. It was great for the first initial part of the lockdown when I was in stuck at my house for 2 weeks. But then once I went back to work, it was kind of not doable. And then I just kind of put it on the back burner for a while. Lack of space, I moved into a smaller apartment. Didn't really have much space. So it all went into storage. And then I moved again. And then I pretty much purged a lot of stuff, not just my Warhammer stuff, but just purged a bunch of stuff because I was moving out of state. And then when I got here, one of my friends that lived here was like, hey, you like Warhammer? And here I am. So yeah, I mean, kind of regret getting rid of my stuff, but it is what it is. Can't change the past. But now that I have the space to actually store and paint this stuff, figure what better time. Hey, let's touch up some of the guns again. I'm just kind of going around and touching up some of the black that I either messed up or missed. So like you can kind of see right here. Really don't know how well this is going to show up on this camera. Like here on the gun I got some green. I'm just going to hit it with some black. I figured I would kind of throw this out there to the YouTubes. And if there's enough interest in people watching me learn how to do this stuff, I know a lot of people like to look at the tutorials and stuff. But if people want to learn along, kind of see where I'm making mistakes so they can improve as well. If there's enough interest in that, then I'll keep doing these. And probably get some better equipment too. But for now, this will suffice. All right. It's pretty good on the black there. Okay. All right, now for the fun part. So in the Army Painter brand, I am using the plate mail metal for my silver. It's one of their metallics. Where is it? This one here. It's one of their metallics. Stuff goes on pretty easily, so you don't need much. And since this guy has a jump pack, excuse me. Since this guy has a jump pack, I'm gonna blue this so it's showing that there's heat coming out of it. Kind of like I did. I don't know if we can see this. Oops, definitely can't see it if I turn the light off. Like I did on that guy. Where was I? A few reasons why I went with salamanders over some of the other Space Marines. I like the green. Not a huge fan of like the Ultramarines blue. If I was gonna go blue, I would probably say Space Wolves because those guys are kind of cool. Space Vikings. But I like the green. It's more tactical. And from the little bit of lore that I've looked into, I do like their lore as well. And I also am a huge fan of Flamers. Always been kind of a pyro at heart. Which is one of the reasons why I like Space Hulk so much. Is I think it has probably the best flame mechanic out of any of the games I've seen. I'm sure there might be another one that I haven't played, but I just really am fully satisfied with the heavy flamer in that game. Even the Hellfire bolter is pretty sweet in that game. I do wish there was a little bit more depth to it, but it's nice to hop onto that game still and see people playing it and being able to jump into a multiplayer game. And it's usually the same, like 10 guys. It's a very small. I mean, it's hanging on by a thread at this point. So here I'm not really worrying about getting all of it with chrome or the silver, because I want it to look kind of like it's worn down. And it's also going to get painted 3 more times, so it's not a huge deal. Right. Yeah, I'm glad I went with the silver over the gold as well. I think it looks a lot better. I think it just kind of blends better with the green compared to the gold. Dang, I totally missed that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is much easier to do with the base and the dowel. It's a little more sturdy that way. But I was also being a little impatient because not only do I have some tools coming in from Amazon, I also have the Salamander's Warforged box coming in today as well. So I'm trying to get this one done so I can move on when that gets here. Start building those. I have, I think, a little over a week before the crusade starts. So I have to get everything done. I just don't want to. I mean, I'm not going to have a full army for the whole crusade, but I want to at least make an effort, so I'm not just showing up with some half-painted models and stuff. At least the models that I will have paint. And look, I guess battle ready is the word, according to the rule book. Cool. Anywho. Let's see, where was I? Someone wants to tell me what brand of brushes they use that are cost effective and hold up. That would be great. Kind of looked into them, and I know it's personal preference as well, but it's just nice to see what else other people use. Yeah, so all these vents, all the exhaust ports for his jump pack are going to be chrome based, and then they're getting a layer of gold, purple, and blue. I haven't really tried anything else. I did see that when I first started back in 2019. I saw a video. If I can find it when I upload this, I will post it in the link as well. He does a really good job at explaining it, and I think it looks really good. I mean, this one here was my first try, and like that bluing looks pretty sweet. Also did it on the barrels there. Oh yeah, and the flamer. Forgot about that. So I think it looks pretty fucking sweet. Kind of gives it that extra depth. It's gonna be too much, I bet. Here we go. It's like a weird ball of metallic paint on the tip of that. Kind of going to do the same thing I'm doing here to the bolters. But on the bolters, I'm going to have most of the black remain. So that's going to be more of a highlight. Then kind of adding some scratches and stuff here and there. And if this stuff doesn't pop up well on the screen with this camera, we'll take a picture and overlay it just so you can see what I'm talking about. Picture of a little short video or something. I do really like this metallic paint here, the plate mail metal. It looks really good, especially when you add a wash over it. Makes it very grungy, kind of dirty. I do like the way that looks. Before the wash does look a little too bright, but then the wash really ties it in with everything else. Okay. So there's a little green kind of in this area here, kind of letting that show through, almost like the metal is, or the paint on the armor is kind of worn out, exposing the silver metal, bare metal, whatever you want to call it. Really don't know how good this will turn out compared to other people's paints, but so far I like it. Well, and then I gotta do the wings. So I did the top green, kind of give it more depth. The bottom I'm just kind of doing the same as the feetsies. Kind of lightly brushing some on. All right, like that. Now for the guns. I'm actually going to let this dry real quick, and we will come back in a minute. All right. So I touched up some more of the black during that last time lapse there. I think the rest of the model, minus some of the distressed look that I gave the other guys, is looking pretty good, but probably do that after the wash, or actually maybe before, I don't know, but I figure we'll get to the gun part. Okay, so on my palette, see if I can get this in here better. So you'll see I have gold, which is one of the metallics. It's called Greedy Gold on the army paints. And then I have alien purple and deep blue. And you can kind of see that the deep blue and purple are a little swirled together. That's okay. The gold didn't really water down too much because it is kind of the base, and I want that to shine through more. So, I mean, you don't want it necessarily thick, but you don't want it as thin as the other two. The purple I probably thinned down the most, just so that way it lets a lot of that gold go through, and then also kind of blends with the blue. So you want to put your gold, and you don't want to go all the way to the end of where your silver is, which is kind of hard on this smaller stuff. It doesn't give you as much room to work, but it kind of gives it that extra shade, if you will. Hey, that went on a little thin, so I'm going to let that dry. Typically, I like to just put the next layer on immediately after. That went on pretty thin. There we go. This one's a little better. A little bit more, and then without washing my brush here, see, I don't know how well this is going to turn up. I'm sorry if it's that dark and blurry because my camera is not meant for this, but so without washing my brush, I go straight to the purple. Let's grab some of that, put it on the front. And this stuff is all thick now. So somehow they reversed roles. And you kind of put it on the edge. And then leaving a little bit extra. But so you don't want to go as far back as the silver with the gold. And then you don't want to go as far back with the purple as the gold. Now you take some blue. Put the blue on the front. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's actually better if it's not, because you want it to kind of all blend together. This is also thick. Let me water this down a little bit. Yeah, you want it to all kind of blend together. And the more imperfect it is, the better it seems. Oh, need a little more purple there. So I'm going to grab some of the purple with the blue. That's going to be too much blue, I can already tell. I'm going to put that back at the end of the blue here. Just like so. Nice, that looks pretty good. A little spot that needs a little bit more gold, so without washing the brush, take a little bit, just kind of dab it right there. Boom, just like that. All right. Yep, and through the whole bluing process, I don't typically wash my brush. Kind of let all three colors just kind of blend together as I go. It's kind of what you're doing anyways, is just letting it all blend. The more it blends, the better it looks, in my opinion. But I don't know what I'm doing as well, so if there's a better way to do this, or you got a link of a video that's a really good bluing process, I would be happy to see it. So purple, we got some decent gold there, so let's go with some blue now. So the blue you want really heavy on like the front, because that's where, like, you know, the hottest point of it would be. And then you want it to kind of stop real short. The other one I kind of went too far, which is why I added more purple. But yeah, that one came out great. Sweet. Now for the vents. So same thing. I'll wipe off my brush a little bit here since it's a bigger space. I'm also going to water down some of this gold. It is also very thick. Same thing, gold all on the front. Even though we're going over the front the most with the purple and the blue, having the gold here kind of gives it that shimmer, especially since we're mixing it all pretty much at the same time. This one is also not very long. This is actually shorter than the barrel, I think. I guess it's about the same. But since it's so wide, I kind of just go all over the part that I did silver first. Now it's too thin, great. There we go. There we go, that looks pretty good, I think. A little more down here. And then straight to purple. Yeah, a little more. There we go. I'm gonna start adding some of that blue now. Still kind of stay on the purple. This one I am covering up most of the gold just because it's such a wide and thin piece. I don't have enough room to kind of let it fan out like this guy. Right, so you got the silver and then a little layer of gold, a little layer of purple, and then a decent layer of blue. Since I don't have all that space to make that transfer, kind of just leaving it mostly purple. Come down here with the blue, swirl that around. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. A little too much there, but that's okay. Okay. I either get none or too much. It's starting to dry out on my palette. There we go. Not bad. So then I'm also going to do the same thing up here. Add water to this. Okay, and then I'm also going to do the same thing to the top, like the black of the jetpack or jump pack. A little bit. Just going to try to hit the highlights. With not paying too much mind to everything else. So it's okay if you go over in some spots like I just did right there. So it kind of gives it some damage. At least that's what I like to do. Like so. I think that's good. Cool. But I like the way it comes out. I kind of like the dirty armor look. I mean, these dudes are always fighting. They ain't got no time to paint their armor. Ain't nobody got time for that. Then for the chrome, I'm kind of going over all of it with the wash, not just the recesses, to kind of give it that darker shimmer. I don't know if it actually does anything, but it looks like it does from the other ones I did. So we're going with that. At the chest, I think I'm going to leave that one as is. Okay, so now all that's left is the green. So this is the jungle green again. Puke green. A little dollop of daisy. And I got this cheap Walmart brush. It's still kind of wet. Spread this out a little. Lightly feather it. This really gives it a nice contrast. Some of the black that was left over from the wash, and also some of the spots I missed, kind of give it a little more depth, in my opinion. I guess that's what dry brushing technically is anyways, right? Just trying to catch the highlights. You didn't see that? I have to add more. Oh yeah, I need more water in this stuff. there. There we go. I'm going to call that done. Alright, so once again, if you can't see this, I'm going to pull this up on the computer. We'll just take a photo of it, but I think these guys are looking pretty good. We need to pull some of that puke green out though. Lobbed up. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Yeah, I mean, not perfect by any means. As part of me being a new painter, I'm kind of using the imperfections to my advantage. Oh, I forgot the purity seals on both of these guys. I'll have to hit those. But maybe I'm using that to my advantage, but I think it looks good that way because it gives them character, you know? All of them are slightly different. They got blemishes in slightly different spots. They've been battling for their whole lives. So, I mean, you know, they're not concerned about having perfectly shiny armor. That's what I'm going with. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Well, that's the my painting process of these Inceptors here. I hope you enjoyed and learned some stuff, and maybe learn some stuff of what not to do. Like I said, let me know in the comments, you know, what you guys liked, what I could do better even. You know, this is a pretty sweet community. Everyone's willing to help each other out, which I do like. So if you guys have more experience than me, or even if you don't, but you've seen something from a different video, it's like, hey, this guy said do this. Let me know and I'll give it a try. It's kind of one of the main reasons why I'm doing this is so I can learn how to better improve my skill. Once again, thank you. I'll probably post more. I got a shipment of salamanders coming in later today, so I will be building those and probably recording. We'll see. But that's it for now, and I will talk to you guys later.